Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, supporters of DFU, we are back with another episode 168, coming at you live on a Tuesday night. I am your host, Steve Money. You can call me Chase. My guy David, Rick, and Cody is here to break it down with the DFU crew. Today's title of the show is Injury Bug Strikes Again. Is the Falcons season a wrap? As I stated, I am your host. Before we get too deep into the Falcon conversation, Mr. David, what's going on? Glad to have you here on a Tuesday night at 8:30. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Just sit back watching a little Hawks basketball. You know, the
Hawks. No, that's something to talk about.
Look, just follow all of them. So just have to find a little joy somewhere. So yeah, everything's going good.
Absolutely. Cody, what's going on, man? Frustrating Sunday as the last 5 weeks have been, but we're glad to have you here on the show tonight to talk about it and get it all on the table. Cody, what's going on, man? How you been?
Oh, man, like I said, it was rough Sunday, but I'm just at the point now to it's like, just please beat the Saints twice, man. I would say other than that, can't complain. Work's, staying busy with work and all that wonderful stuff, but we got to figure out what to do with our birds, man.
Cody says, beat the Aints twice, and all is well in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Rick, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here tonight. I know your schedule's been stacked with the jiu-jitsu, with the Falcon games on Sunday. Now's the place to talk about it. Rick, what's going on, man? How you been?
Man, I'm doing good. This is my first podcast. I don't have my setup yet, but this is from my new basement. I got a content spot. I got a full basement.
Nice.
See, I'm starting to put my Falcon stuff on the wall. So
that'll take a full year.
Yeah, it's going to be dope, man. But, it's work in progress. So I'm happy to have my own spot down here. But, got to keep it positive after what we've seen in the past 5 weeks.
Well, shout out to the new setup. Shout out to the new home as well, brother. Glad and congratulations to that. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Leave the comments. Bring them in here today and let us know how you feel about the state of your Atlanta Falcons. Our first comment here today from, I'm going to just say Sim. Sim says, yes, it's a wrap. Sim, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Glad to have you here tonight as DFU has a whole show to talk about tonight. As we all know, the Atlanta Falcons fall to, I believe, now 3-7 on the season. Guys, if you go back 10 weeks ago, all of us on this podcast expected the Falcons to at least be above 500 at this point of the season. There was no signs of any way that the Falcons would fall the way we have fallen. It almost seems like we all have that Achilles tear this year. Divine Diablo now rotating back into practice, but we took a lot of bad blows against the Carolina Panthers. Today's show, we'll start off with team stats, and then we'll dive straight into the injury bug that hit Sunday, what that caused and what that means for the Atlanta Falcons heading forward for the rest of the season. As Cody did state, you go into the biggest rival game on the season this Sunday. I believe it's in New Orleans, correct? Or is that
No, it's in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, in enemy territory, with a backup quarterback, with a backup receiver. You have still yet to bring in any more receivers. You did elevate, I believe, Nick Nash. I believe I read that Nick Nash was practicing this week. Don't know what that may be. Can we see some Chris Blair? Before we get too deep into it, though, let's talk about team stats. Sunday's loss, 30-27 against the Carolina Panthers. Your Atlanta Falcons went for a total of 348 yards. Did not get the job done. The Carolina Panthers went for 486 yards. That's almost a five-piece, my guy. That's almost 500 against your division rival. They went passing yards. Now, this is the stat that really stands out to me that just makes me want to scream The Carolina Panthers put up 419 passing yards, initially giving Bryce Young his career high against the Atlanta Falcons. Not only a career high, a franchise-setting record for the Carolina Panthers Sunday in Atlanta. In Atlanta, Cody.
Yep.
Not in Carolina, Rick. Not in Charlotte, David. But in Atlanta, in the Benz, they throw for 419 yards. Rushing yards, the defense did their job when it came to rushing.
Can we say that 305 of those passing yards probably came against Natron Brooks?
You could probably say 400. You could probably say 400 of that came from Natron Brooks. We're going to talk about 35 because 35, number 35.
Yeah, y'all know how I felt about that from the little group chat that we had today. That Natron Brooks, worst game ever.
Terrible. Not to mention the fumble after halftime. We're going to get into it. Rushing yards, the Atlanta Falcons put up 125 rushing yards to the Panthers 67. Yards per play, the Carolina Panthers 6.5, the Atlanta Falcons 6. First downs, 23 first downs for the Atlanta Falcons to the Carolina Panthers 22. Third down efficiency, we did get better, but not good enough. The Atlanta Falcons went 4 for 11 on third downs. The Carolina Panthers went 6 for 17. Fourth down efficiency, we did not have any fourth down conversions. They had 3 out of 5. Total plays, they had 75 total plays to the Atlanta Falcons 58. That is a problem. That sounds like a bunch of 3 and outs to me.
Yes, sir.
Sacks allowed. The Atlanta Falcons once again walks away with 5 sacks, and it's not enough to finish the job. The Carolina Panthers walked away with 0 sacks on that game. Punts, we punted the ball 5 times to their 3. They had 8 penalties for 49 yards. We had 6 for 44. We lost 1 fumble. They had 0 interceptions for both teams. Time of possession, the Carolina Panthers held the ball 10 minutes longer than the Atlanta Falcons. 37 minutes for the Carolina Panthers, 27-43 for the Atlanta Falcons. We had 49 tackles to their 23. We went 2 for 2 on field goals. They went 3 for 3. Red zone, they had 2 red zone attempts for 6. Guys, the Atlanta Falcons went 3 for 3 in red zone against the Carolina Panthers. That wraps it up for team stats against Sunday's game. Before we talk a little deeper about team stats, David, I want to go around the table and we'll start with you. What went wrong Sunday against the Carolina Panthers?
Natron Brooks had 69 snaps in the game and got absolutely torched. I don't know if I want to know Kobe Bryant, CJ Henderson, and any other corner that we got on the practice squad or behind them. What are they doing? If Natron Brooks is the best person that we can put on the field with a Mike Hughes injury, we're not going to win any games. He looks a mismatch up against every receiver that they put out there. He's small. I don't know what the weight or height is, but he just looks like definitely out of place.
And David, the size thing is one thing, but how badly Natron Brooks was burnt Sunday. I'm talking these players were a good 5 to 10 yards ahead of Natron Brooks when the ball was thrown.
And not to mention the tight end Trimble on the long play in the overtime. If you go back, I went back and rewatched the game, and I want you, if you get a chance, to go and look at that last play with Trimble for the long touchdown run. He made a business decision not to even tackle the man, and that's what led to the long run. I had just, when I sent the message in the group chat this morning, I had just finished watching that play. I put him right next to JD Bertrand on the bench. It's crazy.
Abnel, shout out to you, brother. Abnel says, had the game won, the team was looking good, then bam, offense shuts down. Guys, this seems to be a recurring thing that we've talked about here on the podcast. You look good before halftime. The only game that you have been decent after halftime was the Buffalo Bills, and you still kind of hit a brick wall at halftime against the Buffalo Bills offensively. Defensively, you played a full game against the Bills on Monday Night Football. So, Cody, this question comes to you. What is the problem at halftime? And this is a very genuine question because this is a problem. the Atlanta Falcons have been what I would say out-coached at halftime. Other teams make adjustments. The Atlanta Falcons come out and don't make the right adjustments. Cody, halftime error. I mean, what is happening when these Atlanta Falcons go to the locker room?
Well, it's like you said, it's just I feel like there's no adjustment made on the offensive side. It's the same basic offense that we see week in and week out. And Zach Robinson I just don't know if he's lost, if he's confused, if he doesn't know how to run an NFL-style offense or what his deal is. But it's just plain, man. Like, all you have to do is watch where the tight end motions, and you know where we're going with the ball. You know which side we're going. Every time Charlie Warner motions left, I would look at the wife and be like, hey, guess what? We're running left with Bijan. And that's what happens. You know, I think there was only one time that I was like, oh, we got motion with the tight end, and they actually threw the ball instead of, But, I mean, it's just basic offense, man. And you're not doing anything. It's like, and the thing is too, and you made a great point, Chase, in our group chat. It's like, how come Michael Penix doesn't go under center, but Kirk Cousins comes in the first snap he takes is under center? So what's going on with your young quarterback that you can't trust him under center, or what's going on? Period, man.
But you know what I think the issue is?
What's
this is just a rumor. This is just C Money in his head thinking all day at work today about this ugly season. I believe now the rumors come out this prior week that Darnell Mooney actually broke his collarbone in training camp. Correct? That was stated out this week before Sunday's game that Darnell Mooney actually had a broken collarbone, was not just a shoulder issue as Raheem Morris claimed to be day to day. A collarbone's a lot more than day to day. I think Michael Penix was having these ACL, knee bruise, whatever you want to call it, issues way earlier than what we're in, week 11 now?
12 coming up.
12 coming up now. So week 11, Michael Penix goes down. Was Michael Penix injured more than what they said he was the prior weeks when he set out?
I mean,
was it more than a knee bruise?
Well, I mean, and that's the thing with this coaching regime that we've had. I mean, look at what he did to Younghoe Koo. Hip injury all season long. Marched him out there, ruined him mentally. Same thing with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins comes out and says, hey, I'm hurt. It's like, nah, you're good. Runs Kirk Cousins out there till he runs our season. So, yeah, it's absolutely a possibility that Rod doesn't understand, like, I don't know if it's I'm trying to save my job, so I'm going to run you out there whether you're hurt or not. And I understand that this is the NFL and you got to play tough, and, nobody comes out of the season, 100%. But when your guys are hurt, you've got to do something. And again, you would think that we would have the depth to take care of these problems. So when we do have our Darnell Mooney, if his collarbone is broken, that you do have a Chris Blair, that you do have,
Nick Nash.
Hodge, you've got these guys to fill in the roles. But for whatever reason, I don't know if this is a common occurrence under Coach Raw that he plays players hurt regardless or what the deal is, man. But it's kind of ridiculous at this point. It's beyond ridiculous at this point.
Sterling Woods in the comment section with it. Shout out to Sterling Woods. Hit that like button. Glad to have you here tonight. Falcon fans, if you're watching the live, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It helps us push the algorithm out to a lot more Falcon fans that do not know about DFU. We greatly appreciate you. Sterling Woods says, man, everyone needs to go. We can't finish a game. Tell me, with that lead we had in the first half, were y'all confident that the Falcons will win? Rick, the stage is yours. Please answer Sterling Woods.
I would say I was 60-40 in that game, and the main reason why is because I thought Penix was playing very strong. I mean, he was 11 of 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 11 of 12, or he finished 13 of 16. So I thought he was super strong in the first half. Bijan looked good. The defense was a little shaky, but I thought we had the chance to win that game. And in my opinion, the game changed when Penix went out. I mean, of course, there were some other things in Natron Brooks and all of that, but once the offense started, giving up 3 and outs and getting off the field quick, the defense is on the field too long. Natron Brooks gets more opportunities. It is what it is. They took advantage of our weakness, you know what I mean? And we failed to make an adjustment. At the same time, it's hard to be mad about that because we had so many injuries on the secondary. It's like, who do you put out there? So I think we reached that point. We started to reach that point with our offensive line. Luckily, some players came back. But one thing I noticed, I was kind of looking back at some of the games. Somebody mentioned like why we can't finish games. And I think the one thing I noticed, and, obviously I'd want to look deeper into the stats, is most of our penalties on third down and second down, and most of our drops came in the second half. So
a
like
lot of false starts on first.
Yeah, and I've had this feeling for a while that outside of Drake London, we do not have a clutch team. Like in the clutch moments, Pitts is dropping balls. Mooney's dropped countless amount of balls. I mean, the penalties Jake Matthews gets. I mean, Lindstrom, I think, had 2 penalties last game, and I heard him call 63. I was like, what?
Yep.
And I think the problem is, and the part that people aren't thinking about is, what does the offensive coordinator do? It's 3rd and 8. You hit Darnell Mooney for a first down. He drops it, and everybody's blaming the offensive coordinator. Or we get 2nd and 8, and he's like, all right, cool. Or we made a big play. It's 2nd and 2, penalty, 2nd and 12 because it was a holding call. Now they have to try to make a play, incompletion. So part of me is like, Zach Robinson, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's perfect and all of that. But Penix has been trash. He's been throwing balls in the dirt, throwing up that. People have been dropping balls. Bijan's not been hitting holes. The offensive line hasn't been blocking. So to me, it's like the whole thing is just like everybody deserves the blame. Yep. Timeouts aren't being called properly. You know, defense isn't getting off the field when they have the opportunity. So for me, it's really tough. I mean, we've seen Bijan fumble. We've seen Drake. Drake had a couple drops last game. So like that, we don't have no momentum. We can't keep any momentum going. And it starts off, and then something happens in the second half. Either they're pressing, or man, I don't know. But for me, I'm always a blame the players type of guy, because when I've watched the Atlanta Falcons, and I said this when I was in the MARTA station, Devontae Freeman missed the block. I don't care what the call was. Devontae Freeman missed the block.
Yep.
Harry Douglas dropped the ball. Roddy White dropped the ball. Julio Jones, I've seen him on 3rd down hit slants on 4th down, drop the ball. So the kickers aren't making the kicks. That's not coaching. Kickers not making the kicks, man. Punter, we had when we really needed, I think it was either the last game or the game before against the Colts. And I love Pinion.
Yeah, against
Pinion's like our most consistent player. But when we really needed that punt to swing the field position, he shanks it. It's like,
yep.
I get where you're going there with that, Rick. But like I'm saying, it's scheme. And players, it's S's and O's versus Jimmy and Joe's. I think that's how they say it. But you know, but when you see the 4th down when I think Ted caught the touchdown pass in the left corner, there's no way that Kate Ellis is on Ted.
I know.
They're the number 1 receiver.
That's scheme.
Yeah,
well, AJ has to be on him on that play. I don't care what you've done the rest of the game. It's clutch time. You gotta in the 4th. You gotta have AJ on tick. There's no way
Bates over there or something.
There's no way Caden Ellis is matched up 1-on-1 on him. So
I saw another one with McMillan. I think he did like a little slant or a post, and he burnt him too. And I'm just like, oh my God.
So just looking through the stats here, something that really stands out to me, and it's been an issue all season long, even since Zach Robinson was the offense coordinator, and even the regime prior when Arthur Smith was calling the offense. Tyler Algier touched the ball 3 times. 3 times Sunday, Tyler Algier touched the ball for 10 yards and 1 touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 23 touches for 104 yards. Penix 1 for 9, Kirk 1 for 2. Tyler Algier is coming up on a contract season, guys. I don't know if the Atlanta Falcons.
This is contract year.
This is contract year, yeah. So you have to make that signing this offseason. Me and David
maybe that's why they're doing it. Get him
it's like what is the issue here? Why are we not feeding Tyler Algier? Because the week prior in Indianapolis, Tyler was the only one that could make into the end zone. Running was. So it's like, what is happening here when it comes to play calling, when it comes to having the right personnel? I don't know how many more 3rd and 1s Zach Robinson has to see that Bijan is not a 3rd and 1 back. That is a Tyler Algier play.
He's getting killed on that 3rd and 1
every time, and it just doesn't make sense to me. You look at passing plays. Okay, you passed the ball 16 times Sunday. You completed 13 for 175 yards. Then Kirk Cousins comes in. You throw 14 times, 6 completions. And I don't know if this really matters because I'm not an NFL receiver or NFL quarterback, but does it really make that much of a difference when Kirk Cousins comes in the game? Because there was a lot of plays that Kirk converted first downs where the ball was dropped.
Yep.
Drake London dropped one when he got injured. Pitts, as you mentioned earlier, dropping passes in clutch positions. You can't win football games this way. And you look at walking into New Orleans against the Saints with Kirk Cousins without a Drake London. Who is Kirk Cousins throwing the ball to? David Sills? Kyle Pitts? Chris Blair, maybe? Cordell Hodge is going to fill in for Drake.
Well, I mean, the only, I was joking about it, in the group chat, but at this point, it almost seems like you're going to have to move Kyle Pitts in from a tight end position to have him run some kind of slot receiver or something, and you may have to use Bijan as a wide receiver. Maybe not necessarily a wide receiver, but some kind of a passing option more so than a running option. And you might have to rely on Tyler Algier being your running back because that's where you're at right now. Because the only guys making plays right now, Drake London, who we no longer have this week. You've got Bijan Tyler, and that's it. That's it. Kyle Pitts has disappeared again. He started out so good this year for us. And I was really thinking, all right, this is a year he's got it figured out. He's got the quarterback he likes. Kyle Pitts is going to show up big for us. And he's disappeared again.
This is off topic. I want to give a shout out to the Dixon Way, always bringing the raid with him. Shout out to everybody that's here for the Dixon Way. We appreciate y'all. Hit that like button.
I'll give a little bit of credit because I saw this last game. Kyle Pitts did make some big time blocks to spring some people free. So I know he's not a blocking tight end. That's not why we signed him and all of that stuff. So it's kind of a give and take. But yeah, no, I agree. Kyle Pitts has kind of. I don't even know if they use him right. I don't think they scheme him right either. So it's
They don't.
Well, they don't. But at the same time, again, to your point, Rick, he's not a blocking tight end, and it shows. I can't remember what play it was, but he got his ass blown up, thrown on the ground, blown up, and it wrecked everything. It's just like I don't understand what this coaching staff thinks that he is. But it's not a blocking tight end.
Dude, what's so wild? I sit, Chase, you've been there. I sit super close. And last game, I was looking at Kyle Pitts was on my sideline. I was like, dude, Kyle Pitts is the biggest dude on the field.
Yeah.
He is gigantic. And he gets beat I don't even want to say
no red zone targets either, Rick. The biggest body on the field with 0 red zone targets.
Yeah, have you noticed too? We have no short routes. I mean, if we have a short route, they're going to drop it, or it's going to be like a swing out to.
So I'm glad you bring that up, Rick, because
crosses and slants.
The play that Penix gets hurt on was a all-out blitz, and if you look at every receiver, they are deeper than 10 yards.
All of them, and not open.
Nobody's open. Nobody's even making a break before the defense is on Penix.
But with that, where are the checks? If you gotta identify that, you got to go hot. If the call's not made. Do they change the route? I'm quite sure they go to the line, and maybe that's some of Penix's inexperience to get out of the play to keep himself out of trouble.
Exactly.
If they're going to 10, you got to have more play recognition. That's coming with Nuzul being young inexperienced center, and you got a young inexperienced quarterback. When you got a young quarterback, that center has to be someone that can make those checks and get you into the right play at times. So,
I said that before about having Mac on our team. I think from listening to him, Penix is doing the blocking and doing the routes, and that is not a good combination. I want my center taking care of the blocking and let him do the route, and also the plays coming in late. So Penix has 6.5 seconds to fucking. Oh my god!
Yeah, when you get to the line, it's hurry up and snap the ball. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Did anybody notice before halftime we ran a little bit of no huddle, hurry up offense?
Yes,
and
that was nice.
Times where Penix had 20 to 16 seconds on the play clock to read the defense before half. Now you came out after half and you was directly straight back to huddling. You ran a lot of no huddle when Kirk Cousins came in the game. You ran a lot of under center when Kirk Cousins came in the game. So the question that I'm asking or putting out there is, does Zach Robinson call such a vanilla offense when Penix is in the game because Penix is just that under progressed right now in the stage of his career?
It's got to be. He doesn't have a quarterback coach. or a true quarterback coach is what TJ Yates is the wide receiver coach right now instead of, being a quarterback coach, which is probably what he's better at.
Should never fired Ike Hillard.
I mean,
I want to know why you fired Ike Hillard. Can that please break the media? Because whatever it was, you look at the receiver progression since Ike Hillard left, and the only receiver that has done anything is Drake London.
Drake.
Nobody else.
Yeah. What was said? Somebody had to. Did it come down from the head? Was somebody got to lose their job this week?
Somebody
terrible loss. And,
right, and so that's what leads me to why was nobody let go after a 6-in-a-row L? If you go to New Orleans and lose 7 in a row, is that the final straw?
Yeah, if you lose this week, it has to be something.
I mean, nobody should have come home from Germany, man. That's my opinion. Nobody should have come home from Germany except for Coach Brick. Brick should have been allowed on the team plane. Raw. I want
to pick on Coach Ulbrich a little bit this week. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at this game, the Colts game, the Patriots game, you talk about 2 overtime winning drives that the defense completely blows. You look at Patriots game, a game you should have won, comes down to the wire. Yes, we have gotten sacks. I think it was 6 sacks, 7 sacks this last game against the Carolina Panthers, 5 sacks. But sacks aren't winning the game.
But again,
we are blowing. How many deep plays did we allow on defense this week?
What's the common denominator in all of that? How many 3-and-outs go? Well, those.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. I get it. They're NFL players and they're conditioned to get this. But when you're back on the field, because New England, we converted zero third downs.
Yeah, and same situation with the Colts. Yeah,
Colts, same thing. Same thing against Carolina. It was a little better this week. That your defense is gonna get tired. That's why they get burned. Because
welcome to the Super Bowl. I
mean, that's exactly it. It's what killed us in the Super Bowl because Kyle Shanahan refused to run the football, and now you've got a young defense that's burnt. This is a very young defense, and they're going to get worn out. It's what it is. They're going to get mental mistakes come when you get tired.
So what is the average number of plays that defense plays a game? I think we had 80 defensive snaps this week. So is that
let's look at
way too many?
It's way too many. And look at the time of possession. Carolina outpossessed us by 10 minutes. I mean, that's 10 minutes longer that our defense is on the field.
50 to 60 is the average.
50 to 60 had 80.
We're playing almost 30 more, almost half a game.
Half a game more. And so of course, that's when these lapses happen, man. It's going to happen until your offense, I know they say the best offense is a great defense, but if your offense is giving your defense 35 seconds of time to get off the field, I mean, that is not enough time to go get your Gatorade and look at your iPad and go and see what you even did. That's not enough time to get ready for the next, because it's seriously, you get to the sideline, you get your drink of Gatorade, you start to sit down and talk to your coach, and the next day it's all right, boys, back out.
Think about this, too. I just thought about this while you were talking about this. David Omanyata, A.J. Terrell, Jesse Bates. The other 9 players are rookies, practice squad players, or in their second year.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be honest, to be fair, I love to give credit. That's a hell of a job. Shit.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of rookies out there, so – I think it could be better. I see the potential. I like what they're doing. But when you really consider, I think it was yesterday, I was talking about 3 or 4 players that played significant snaps were practice squad players.
Yeah.
That's
not
a recipe for success.
But that's
Natron
awesome.
Brooks.
Not even practice squad.
But even again, and that's the problem is that they are young and they're, a bunch of second-year players. But guys, even if these guys were in their 5th, 6th season, if you're not getting rest, you get tired. You get tired mentally. It doesn't matter what you do or how long you've been doing it. If you're getting 35 seconds of rest in between of, going out, really the only thing you can hope that they could go out there and do is get a 3-and-out and get right back off the field. But then again, even if you're doing that and you're right back out there another 35 seconds because your offense can't manage 1 or 2 first downs. because you can't stop committing stupid penalties, because you can't be more creative, because you can't find a way to get Tyler Algier the ball on 3rd and 1. I'm so glad that I love Bijan. Wife's favorite player is Bijan. I love Bijan to death, and I can't wait for him to be here for a long time. But until they figure out, hey, again, to our points, until they figure out that Bijan is not a third.
Wife's calling you right now. Don't talk about Bijan.
But I'm glad on that play that Bijan gets his touch and gets in the end zone on 3rd and 1, right up on the line. But that play needs to be Tyler Algier 4 times in a row. I don't care what you do. That is the guy that gets you in the end zone. Bijan should not see the ball from the 10-yard line to the end zone. Tyler should be your back. If you want to throw Bijan out there, to be a distraction, some kind of eye candy, whatever, but Tyler needs to be touching the ball in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, shout out to Nick Bongolo over on YouTube. He says, offense affects the defense. Miss Samantha, shout out to you. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Says defense is getting worn out. Absolutely. Defensively, you're as Rick stated, 80-something snaps on the defense side of the ball?
Yes.
That is crazy.
They're playing an extra half of plays.
Abnel says, by the way, someone needs to tell Diablo to stay healthy. Don't worry about playing.
That's a good point to try to take. Do we rush Diablo back in the current state of what we got right now?
I would. I would.
Why play anyone?
Yeah. Why rush anybody back?
We 10. We got 7 more. Just go ahead and give them the 7 L's, and let's just play practice.
You gotta go all out against the.
Oh wait, we gotta win 2 games.
We gotta win 2 games. That's all I care about. Just those 2.
Sterling Wood says, how much of the fault is on the offensive line? You could say a lot falls on the offensive line when it comes to running plays, when it comes to pass protection. They didn't give up any sacks this week, but there was a lot of hurried up plays. There was a lot of blown up plays, a lot of flags to start drives to put you at 1st and 20. And then even on 3rd down, there was penalties to push you back 3rd and 15. So a good bit of this is on the offensive line. As Rick stated, Chris Lindstrom with 2 penalties on the game Sunday. Elijah Wilkinson still hasn't figured out the snap count. Jake Matthew likes to hold a little bit on that left side. It's definitely hurting not having Bergeron at the guard. You got Kyle Hinton, I believe his name is now, filling in that spot. So I mean,
have Bergeron and McGarry on the same side. Yeah.
How bad does this offensive line miss Caleb McGarry?
Tremendous.
Oh, we saw that week 1, I think.
Yeah,
We saw that immediately whenever he went out.
Well, I think the first 5 weeks Wilkinson played decent.
He did.
But
he did. He played decent.
He's been a little leaky since then, though. He just, I don't know.
So,
and I think it's more like me. It's more on the run blocking because we're not giving up that many sacks, and we can see that Penix does not scramble at all. Maybe once a game. Maybe he does have a knee injury. I don't understand it. So, it's just this.
And then I go back to how long has this knee been a problem? Because it's been an issue of Penix not leaving the pocket. How long has Penix been injured? Speaking of Penix and injury, I have a list here of his injury timeline that Penix has been a college football player up to his NFL now. In 2018, obviously he tore his ACL, season ending. 2019, broken collarbone, season ending. 2020, tore another ACL, season ending. 2021, separated his shoulder, season ending. 2025, knee injury, potential season ending. So this leads me to, as me and David was speaking on earlier before the podcast went live, guys, we're supposed to free up money this offseason, but you're not doing it with a hurt quarterback. Kirk Cousins will be re-signed.
Well, not re-signed. You just have to pay him the rest of the money in his contract.
50 mil.
Yeah.
50 mil of that goes to Kirk Cousins.
But does Kirk Cousins stay? Because at this point,
who else is signing?
I would say
nobody else is signing him. Unless Kirk Cousins, unless he balls out. Yeah. So you're gonna pay
2-3 years left on his contract, so he don't have an option. It's gonna be the team's decision. But like I said, we doubled down on quarterback last year, and we still going into quarterback hell. Excuse the language.
It's like 2020 all over again.
Yeah. So
we hated Arthur Smith, but Arthur Smith was 7-10 with a Marcus Mariota and a Desmond Ridder, guys.
You forgot
Raheem Morris is third.
Cordell Patterson.
Cordell Patterson.
You give him the ball.
Tyler Algier, 1K season.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the question is, if you do, as Sterling Wood stated, nobody's fired until the offseason. If that's the case, if you fire Raheem Morris, you clean house. Some people's mentioning Terry Fontenot now. He's been here for 5 years. You have yet to have a winning season under Terry. You have yet to make a playoff appearance under Terry Fontenot. If you clean house as far as GM, head coach, offensive coordinator, might as well say DC because somebody's going to come in and may want a different scheme.
Yeah.
So if you clean house this offseason, if that's the case, is the new regime okay with heading into the season with a Kirk Cousins that has shown it isn't so green on the other side of the fence? What do you do? You're legitimately back in 2020. And you're trying to piece it together.
Really tough because, we got to be a little fair to Kirk because he didn't even have a preseason as a starter. He played his first game, really, his second game. And last season, when he started, he was a little rusty, but he started to light it up a little bit. So maybe in the offseason won't be as bad, but I think that's a bad game plan. I don't think we keep Kirk Cousins. I think he's got to go. I think we got to find another, Brissett or somebody else has got to come in here.
Winston?
And I don't even want to. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds so terrible. I can't, dude. I cannot watch Kirk Cousins. I can't.
Hey, Cam Newton was getting his car serviced here at the dealership today. Maybe I'll ask Cam if he wants to.
Ask Cam.
Ask Cam if
Cam's a land guy.
See if he wants to take it off.
Rick, unfortunately, Rick, you're going to have to deal with Kirk Cousins.
I know, another 7 games.
No. Going into next year, you're going to have to deal with.
If the rumors are real, if Michael Penix has a partially torn ACL, which will require surgery, Penix will not be available to start next year, possibly till week 5, maybe even later. You're going into –
think about all the money we have, and if we have the same offseason or better that we had this past season, this team is going to be so stacked.
And you have a quarterback controversy. You're still in quarterback hell, even though you spent so much money to get out of quarterback hell.
How did we get here?
I'll say, is Gunnar Stockton available for the draft next year? I don't think Gunnar Stockton's going in the first.
What's your Georgia boy doing? Stetson Bennett, man. He needs
where's Stetson Bennett at?
It's tough, man. It's tough. It's a tough time right now.
Hey, shout out our new kicker, though.
Shout out to
Gonzalez.
We did fix our kicking problem.
He
enough to make it.
He hugged that left side a little bit too much for my comfort. He did make it. He did make it.
Right now.
Hey, Chase,
right.
I'll make a point that the wife made a point that I didn't even think about. I'm in the section, the Dirty Bird nest. We pretty much stand up every defensive play. And I left the game tired because I stood up the 80 defensive plays that they had because the defense was on the field so long. So that was a good point that she made. We try to stand up and really make a lot of noise on defensive possessions and everything. And I didn't realize, the 30 extra plays that we had to stand up. Come on, defense, offense, get it together. You heard us over here.
It's third down.
And it was that one
It's
drive.
third down.
One drive where they had 2 4th downs in a row. Bro, I have energy for this. They're going to give it up. I was like, I'm not until watch first.
So Sterling Wood throws a name out there at the quarterback position that could be available. Said, would you sign Teddy Bridgewater over a Kirk Cousins this offseason?
I got to see who else is out there.
But I'm just saying that if you're going to pay Kirk Cousins the money and you look for a bridge quarterback, keep Kirk Cousins.
If you're going to pay Kirk Cousins, I feel like it is. If you pay Kirk Cousins, he's your starter, regardless.
It's going to go to the dead money or show on the cap. So why pay the dead cap, and you have to go and find another quarterback anyway? You're not going to find any bridge quarterback better than Kirk Cousins anyway, in my opinion. So you're going to pay him the money, put him on the field, make him earn it. So
I just feel like we're looking at 2 rough seasons this way.
But like I said, Kirk Cousins, before he got hurt last year, he
did ball. We were 6-3 at one point.
Played. And like I said, his leg is healthy. if he got in and ran the quarterback sneak, he got the first down. He did that none the year prior. So that must tells me that they got a little confidence in his recovery.
Did anybody notice, and it may have just been me listening to the reporters on TV watching the game, but did anybody notice how slow Kirk came out of the huddle or out of the snap to give Bijan a handoff? Like there was a couple times that felt like Bijan outran him. Like he was stumbling to get to the running back. Like the Achilles was still an issue. And they even mentioned it. They said, you've seen on the prior play, Kirk, since the Achilles injury, has had issues with getting the ball to the running back out of the under center. First play into the game, Kirk Cousins takes it under the center, hands it off to Bijan. There is a little miscommunication, but could that be because Kirk's not taking snaps with the first string?
That's just rust.
How many times did he hand the ball off to Bijan this year?
Exactly.
Twice,
yeah, that's just
maybe.
Yeah, and if he practices with the twos and everything, he's probably handing out more off to Tyler, who is a little slower coming out than he is to Bijan. But then that comes with
I think we got to wipe the nameplate of Kirk Cousins and say backup quarterback. It is Kirk Cousins, but at the end of the day, he's still a backup quarterback. Yeah. He's still coming in that backup quarterback mentality, so I can't beat up Kirk too bad.
So just say Kirk Cousins does happen to redeem himself this November in New Orleans.
7-0.
Let's just say, picture this. Kirk Cousins does what Kirk Cousins is supposed to do, what he's been known for in Minnesota. He delivers you a couple of wins in the season. You do head into next season. You pay Kirk Cousins. You head into next season, and Kirk Cousins is really on fire with this offense. This offense has built around Kirk Cousins now. Penix returns week 5, week 6. Then what do you do? Is Kirk Cousins still the backup?
You win football.
Because you play Kirk because it's a year to get back on the field, but it's really 2 years before you're really back on your feet as as a player. So if Kirk's playing and we're playing good football, you stay. You buy yourself time with Penix on the sideline, and then you go to where you really want it to be is 2 to 3 years with Kirk Cousins as the quarterback and and Penix learning the game and then throws it to the role. We got Aaron Rodgers and Love type situation. So
I think we're right back to the beginning of 2024. I think it's just like Kirk keeps going until something happens, and then if we need to make the switch, we make the switch. So we just lost a year. Does anybody have the available quarterbacks and free agents for 2020 or expected free agents? For I got them pulled up right now, but this is just all. So I don't know in what order. And they have a bunch of garbage on here. Yeah. Russell Wilson will be available. Brissett, Joe Flacco will be available.
Oh
no,
Tyrod Taylor will probably be available. Geno Smith, Geno Smith will probably stay. Chase Daniel, no.
That would be the most Atlanta Falcon thing ever. Is Kirk Cousins will find a way to go 7-0? We'll find a way to miraculously get in the playoffs.
Cody living on a hope and a dream.
I mean, I don't expect it to happen, but tell me that wouldn't be the most Atlanta Falcon thing ever to happen to us.
And you just barely missed the playoffs, and it's like, oh, well, if you were to start Kirk this season,
or either we barely miss it, we make it, beat a team we have no business beating, they get blown out next week, and now we've got a full-on quarterback controvery. It's like, well, do you start Penix or do you bring Penix back in? Do you keep Kirk Cousins? Do you re-sign Kirk Cousins? It's just like
what single-handedly what single-handedly will lose Terry his job, and this is just my thoughts, is if we give the LA Rams a top 5 pick.
No,
I think
who Pierce is shown to be, and he's only going to get better for next year. I think that we got to forget about that first round pick.
Yeah.
Because we got an absolute stud in the house who's, like I said, the first year is the learning year for an edge rusher. Next year.
But Raheem Morris said we wouldn't be picking this high again.
Well, yeah.
But who on be fair? Who on the planet thought that this was going to happen? At the time, it's easy after the fact to go back and say, we shouldn't have drafted Penix because he's injury prone, and we shouldn't have get Kirk Cousins, because at the time it was the right decision. It looked good. I liked Kirk. When they drafted Kirk, I was like, are they signed Kirk? I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, it's about to be on. Oh, we drafted Penix for the backup? I like this plan. I like where this is going. But just because it didn't work out doesn't mean, So I don't know. It's the same thing with what's his name? Did you think Simmons was going to be garbage last year or Judon? I didn't think Judon was going to be that trash.
Isaiah Simmons.
Did you think Kyle Pitts? Now, maybe not top 4 pick, but definitely top 25. Did you think it was going to be this bad?
No.
Nobody did. So, I mean,
definitely not in the top 10.
Well,
did you think Drake London was going to be top 5 wide receiver? I didn't. I thought he was going to be really good. Top 5? I mean, what did people say about Bijan?
Well,
now look. Now Bijan's their favorite player, and they're wearing his fucking jersey.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, I don't know. That's the whole crazy thing about it is like, I think Terry, man, has honestly done his job. Terry can only go and get you the players. Terry's not coaching. Terry's not calling plays. Terry's going and getting you the pieces that you needed. Bijan, Tyler, or, he's going and getting you these pieces. But, I think Mike Johnson.
I'll have to argue that point as far as depth.
I mean, depth, but nobody expected. How many offensive linemen are we down?
2.
You can't lose the amount of guys that we're losing and expect any kind of depth to save you. At some point, you run out of players. You've only got 53 guys that you can carry on a roster. So Terry can only have so much depth in so many places.
Not to mention your depth that is already injured. Storm Norton back on IR as well.
Well, I think people also forget the team he started with.
Yeah.
In 2020, there was nothing to build on, and he had no money. And he's completely flipped that team to, I think, a very talented team.
Yeah.
So to the fan base that says Terry's going to lose his job because Raheem Moore's Zach Robinson, we don't see that happening.
I don't think so.
I personally think Terry should stay over everybody.
Yes.
I think the way he's turned our contracts around now, did he make a misstep with Kirk Cousins? Okay. But, we talked about it how many weeks ago when we looked at the stats and Terry Fontenot was above average on his performance on draft picks and free agency. So,
Rook, Brandon Delores, Zach.
Who are those players?
Nobody. Nobody expected Rook to be what Rook has been.
Who wanted Caden Ellis?
Nobody.
Yeah. And Caden Ellis made a big-time play last on the 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
You better – if you extend one player, it's got to be Caden Ellis.
Look at Tyler Algier, 5th, 6th-round player.
Yeah, 1K rookie rushing.
Well, and
got rid of Grady Jarrett when everybody said we should keep him, and now look.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is
I love Grady though. Shout out, sorry brother.
I would say, but this is the other thing too. Mike Johnson made a great point that I kind of think if you look at this team, it's really a mix mash of the last 3 Falcon eras. There's no real identity. Like these guys are coming from, different groups of people that have come in to try to turn this thing around. And so I think that's kind of one of those things is like, you are still looking for your identity really, and it's just been difficult. But then you add the injuries on top of it and you add, man, it's just so frustrating because to Rick's point, like the guys outside of like Natron Brooks and, a few other guys that we could mention, I mean, dude, this is probably a top 15 talented roster in the NFL easily. I mean, Jalen Walker. Go ahead. I would say, Jalen
from 2020, we have AJ Terrell.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it. AJ Terrell, Caleb McGarry. So that's 2. Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom.
Can't be too many more.
I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it. We have 4 players from when Terry first took over. We don't have any mainstay players. And were any of those players on our defensive line? No.
Mm.
Any of those players in our back end? Just AJ. So we're just young and the coaching is bad. And honestly, the reason why this season did not go the way I thought, I misread how good I thought Penix was going to be.
Yeah.
Well, that was it.
Penix was going to be better than that. That was totally my fault.
It's always, if you don't have the quarterback position taken care of, the team's going to struggle. Like going into the season, I said we are with a good season from Penix. We're a 12-win team.
That's what we said.
That's what I was telling everybody. But then, if he plays bad, but like I said, Vegas knows best. But they had 7 wins and I diffused.
Yep.
I would have bet all my money on that if I was a betting man. But looks like it's coming to pass.
Let's look at real quick while we're on that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Penix. I still think he's our future. I think he has a lot of growth and there's opportunity. It's very early, so I'm not hating on Penix. 27 of 42, 1 touchdown. 13 of 21, no touchdowns. 18 of 36, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Shit, 18.
20 for 26, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 20 for 32, 1 touchdown. 21 for 38, 1 touchdown. 22 for 37, 3 touchdowns. 12 of 28, 1 touchdown. 13 of 16.
What's the overall
percentage?
50?
60% completion percentage. Average 7 yards per play.
Like I said, no explosive plays. I wrote that down.
56 QBR.
Damn. That 8 for 36 had to be Carolina.
Or
18 for 36.
18 for 36, yeah, Carolina.
God.
Let's see. Quarterback rankings.
He's got to be in the bottom 20.
He's definitely 25.
I'm sorry, Penix. I love you, brother. I know you're injured right now, but we're going to do it.
Definitely 25.
Where's he at?
I'm thinking 25.
Damn,
I was going to say 27 is probably.
Is he not even on the list right now?
Shit.
The backup quarterback's coming in and doing better.
Jameis Winston above. That's crazy.
No. Oh, he's 17th in QBR.
Okay.
Well, that's better than I thought.
Higher than I thought.
Let's see. Let's do EPA. Let's see EPA. Where's he at?
See,
16.
16. That's still better. But see, this is my thing too. Is like, and I know people are probably sick and tired of me bringing up Matt Ryan, but I just want to know what the hell Matt Ryan was made out of, because we could watch him get his ass blown up. He'd get up, adjust his, his guard that he's got over his knee, and he'd be right back out there. Matt Ryan just did not come off the field, man. I don't know what we got to do to get something back like that. If we need to find a way to clone Matt, hope one of the ice cubes that, grows up to become like his dad, become like their dad or something. But
when number 2 was taking the snaps, I always thought we had a chance to win.
Somebody posted a post on Facebook earlier today, and it said, why did Matt Ryan decline faster than what some would say Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers? And I thought it was a good topic to speak on, because I personally think Matt Ryan digressed faster than those guys, because for one, after 2018, Matt Ryan didn't have an offensive line. One time in Matt Ryan's entire career, he had a top 15 defense. Mm-hmm. Not even a Super Bowl year was they a top 15.
It wasn't even that good.
No.
Matt Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, was statistically the most hit quarterback for there were 2 or 3 seasons that he was the most hit quarterback.
Matt Ryan has still been hit 20 more times than Joe Flacco.
Shit.
And Joe Flacco's still playing football right now. I mean, it's just, he was Matt Ryan was just taken for granted in this city. And I told people for 14 years that wanted him gone. I was like, we're going to miss the day that Matt Ryan is no longer understood. Because to Rick's point, my wife, I take my wife to all these football games. She's a Falcon fan. She's not, quite, the Falcon fan that, we are. I mean, we bleed red.
Hey, long as she's not a Dallas fan like mom.
That might be grounds for divorce at this point, man.
But that was the thing that I told her. She got so mad because we stand in the same spot every game. We stand for the entire 4 hours while we're watching our birds, because that's just how much we love them. This woman, I watched her. There's a metal barricade. It has to be about 25, 30 pounds. I watched this woman push this thing as hard as she could, 5 foot out into the thing, because she's that frustrated with it. And she goes, I don't understand what the difference is. I was like, look, this is the difference. Is when you had Matt Ryan and you had Julio Jones and you had those guys, there was always the hope of that it did not matter, that there was a way. And she goes, yeah, it feels different. The culture feels different. Everything feels different. There was more of a class to it when Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and these guys were around that we just don't have anymore. That's gone. And it's something that the Falcons are going to have to go get back, somehow. And I think, thank God, I really think that Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. and the way that this defense is will hopefully in the future give us that same kind of hope of like, hey, because that's what when I was saying during the Carolina game, I was like, this is where James Pierce Jr. shows up. This is where Jalen Walker shows up. Strip sack, fumble recovery.
I feel like Cody, you were speaking on the receivers that we had in the past. Roddy White, Julio Jones, and not saying that Roddy White was the reason why Julio had the numbers he had, because Julio was the beast that he was. Right. But I'm just looking at what Drake London's done this year, man. Like with no true help. Like it's just Drake London. The guy's tied in third right now for the most receiving touchdowns, for 6 behind George Pickens, which has 7, and then obviously down in Detroit, St. Brown has 8. Drake London is 1, 2, 3 top 5. He is number 5 on receiver ranking as far as reception yards. He has where'd he go? He has 810 yards on the season right now,
and that's with him missing an entire game.
60 receptions and 94 targets. Yeah. You're slowly seeing your receiver 1 progress to be that true receiver 1, but where is the other pieces? And that's why.
Yeah, that's why. Let me check you right there, Chase. I got it pulled up, and I was going to say that the problem is the number 2 receiver, a wideout, is Darnell Mooney. 8 games played, 16 receptions of 42 targets for 224 yards. That's the difference in our offense.
That's unexcusable.
And our third wide receiver doesn't even exist.
Yeah, who is our third wide receiver? If I were to ask you this right now,
David Sills.
Where's Casey Washington? Casey Washington didn't get
Casey Washington, then Ray.
Yeah, Ray's still on our stat board. That tells you all you need to know.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm still blaming Zach Robinson. It all falls on Zach Robinson. Damn it. But see, this is not me knocking on Terry at all. When I was speaking on depth, Cody, this is what I'm talking. There were receivers, even I believe it was, I want to say it was the Kansas City Chiefs that just went inside Mako Hardman. We talked about him on the podcast a couple of times when we spoke on having that second string receiver, that third string receiver that had a veteran presence. You cut DJ Chark. I mean, for granted, nobody re-signed DJ Chark after you cut him, but you don't have a veteran essence in that receiver room at all. But Drake London, which is in year 4 now.
Yeah. Well, but again, to Rick's point is the players have to go out and perform. What was the total for Moody? 16 of 42.
16 of 42.
That's
huge
huge drop last game.
That's less than 50% of the balls caught. That's 246 yards. That's inexcusable.
I saw a stat before the game that said that in the past 6 games, our 2, 3, and 4 wide receivers only caught 16 passes in 6 games.
That's not a recipe for success.
So it's safe to say your second round pick this year will be a receiver.
Oh, we need a big time wide receiver. Yep. Like not somebody just to fill the role. Maybe they might sign a free agent. I mean, we got $50 million, so we need a big time player.
Well,
but we also need offensive line depth, and we also need another linebacker, and we also need a kicker. We might go kicker in the second round.
But that's the problem too.
Yeah, we need a linebacker.
But see, that's the problem that we have too. Is we've got money, but think about it. You've got to find a way to keep Caden Ellis in an Atlanta Falcon uniform. I still think for what he's worth, I think you've got to find a way to keep Tyler Algier in an Atlanta Falcon uniform. I think you definitely have to address your offensive line. You might have to address your backup quarterback situation at this point, whether that be Kirk Cousins or whoever. I'll say you're going to have to address that. You're going to have to address the wide receiver problem because, is Darnell Mooney, hopefully it is that, he's
Mooney
got a broken –
Mooney walks.
It's just you've got so many problems that you've got to fill now because – it's
not as a free agent after this year.
I think personally, I think he's walking too. I think that Dolores and you've seen a lot of Laquel London making plays, making impacts the past 2 weeks.
Laquel London's underrated.
He is easily in NFL terms. He is easily a practice squad guy.
Yeah,
a third string.
If we don't get a good contract for Onyemata, we got to let him go. And then Tyler. Is he somebody's starting?
That's what I'm saying. Somebody may want to.
And the only way we can keep him is franchise him, and that's too much money.
Big contract.
Yeah, I think you've got to keep him though.
Yeah.
I mean, you have
if you change offense coordinators, if you're not getting rid of Zach Robinson, you might as well let Tyler walk.
Yeah, well, but the problem is as much as we all love Bijan, you cannot run Bijan into the ground. You cannot wear him out before his time's up, because that's what you're going to do.
You will.
I would say, and that's the problem is you can. I want Bijan around like what's the shelf life of a running back, 10 years. But the way that Zach Robinson's running Bijan, we're going to be lucky if we have the fact that Bijan hasn't been hurt or seriously, caught some of this injury. Knock on wood. Yes, thank you. Is it outstanding to me? The fact that he touches the ball, 20, I feel like 20 plus times.
He was handed the ball 23 times.
That's too much. I know Bijan's explosive. I know I get that. And I understand why you force feed him. But Tyler Algier was just 1,000-yard back before we had Bijan. You have to give the ball to Tyler. You have to give the ball to Tyler.
Especially in the red zone.
Yes.
He's a touchdown magnet.
Yes, he is. And that's just like how the dude's hungry for it too. How many times do you see Tyler get in the open field and instead of running around people, he goes through people?
Another thing that I like and that I love to see is like their relationship, Bijan and Tyler. Like that is
one of the things I keep them.
What's that, Rick?
I said that's one of the things I think might keep him.
Yeah, like it's strong because I mean even if it is a 1-yard touchdown, Bijan's hyping him. Like Bijan's over there hyping him up as soon as he comes off the field.
I mean, Algier's got more touchdowns than Bijan, so
yeah.
But I'll say this about the touches from Bijan. When have you seen Bijan take a real shot? All the plays. I'm looking at the carries.
There was one this Sunday.
I saw one.
Yeah, there's about one.
His carries in the games are 12, 22, 13, 17, 19, 14, 9, 12, 7. And then the other touches come, in the passing game when he's really not taking a big shot. A lot of he reminds me a lot of Tony Dorsett on the sideline. But Tony Dorsett, he's not finna, put a shoulder into you and try to push ahead for another half a yard. He does a lot to take care of himself with the stepping out of bounds and stuff like that. So, I think that they actually don't give him enough. New England, they gave him 12 carries. Yeah, Miami, they gave him nine carries. And,
inconsistent coaching, inconsistent play calling.
Nine carries and 3 targets of at Miami. No, he has to touch the ball more.
Well, but in those games, what are Tyler's touches, and how well is Tyler doing in those games? In
the Miami game, we couldn't run to save our life against the worst run defense in the NFL. No matter who touched it, I don't know, man. It's too wishy-washy. There's a lot on Terry's plate this offseason. There is a lot on Terry's plate this offseason.
Well, to David's point, I agree with him. You don't see Bijan taking a lot of those hits, but again, I think that has a lot to do with how talented Bijan is, because Bijan's barely getting caught, from behind, or he's, it's shoestring tackles, because you're not going to blow Bijan up very often at the line of scrimmage. There was one hit that I was kind of shocked that he got up from in that Carolina game. I was like, oh my God, please be okay.
Yeah.
And, he bounced back up. But, to David's point, he does take care of himself. But, again, how much, man, it's just, to me, it just still blows my mind that you don't get time. The stat still stands. If you give Bijan the ball 20-plus times and you give Tyler Algier the ball 15-plus times, you win football games. Mm-hmm. Why is that not something that is put into practice for this team? Why is that not looked at and gone, there's obviously something when you get these two guys the ball that we win football games? There's 10 games and we've won all.
We talked about identity a few podcasts ago, and when I said that this team is a running the ball team and play defense, and then we get into trouble when we don't follow the formula. If I say the little swing passes and stuff to Bijan are running plays. You don't want him, going through the line. You want him to get him on the edge. That's like an extension of the running game, to get him the ball in space. But for whatever reason, we get in trouble throwing the ball 30, 35 times a game.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It all falls, in my personal opinion, on Zach Robinson. And until a change is made, guys, I think we're going to continue to see struggles. Now, maybe that Drake London is injured for a week to week, whatever, day to day, whatever it may be for Drake London. You may see a lot more of that run game. I expect Sunday to be a run-heavy offense as far as situational football. I think you see a lot of running. You'll see a lot more Tyler, hopefully. You rotate those handoffs with Bijan. You probably see a lot more Bijan and Tyler on the field together Sunday. So we'll see what happens, guys. Is anybody attending the game in Louisiana?
I'm not allowed in that state, so no.
David, will you be at the game?
I would not go to this one, no.
Rick?
Hell no. Why would I do that to myself?
Sounds good. So Sunday you can catch DFU live if you guys can make it. If not, we'll rock it. However, Sunday we will go live before the game. We'll do it Sunday morning sometime, maybe 11 o'clock, 2 hours before kickoff. We will be back live with you guys to speak on expectations. Go ahead, David.
Hold on. It's a 4-5 game, so we can go a little later.
Oh, is it 4?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
I was thinking it was a 1. So yeah, we'll go 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
DFU
So
will be
I
live.
watch 2 garbage teams.
That's right. So guys, keep that on your schedule. Sunday at 2:30, 3 o'clock, DFU will be back with you live to give you our pregame show against the New Orleans Aints, the Falcons versus the Aints, the first season matchup. With that being said, we're going to close this show out. We have reached our hour mark. David, give me your shout-outs for tonight, and then we'll rotate it around.
A shout out to DFU as always. Enjoyed the conversation tonight, guys. Always interested in sitting down and chopping it up with you guys. I as always, love to give a shout-out to the fans, the fam for always showing support. And shout-out to the Dirty Birds. Still got to love.
Cody.
Yeah, shout out to you guys coming in and talking about a 3-7 football team. It's God. This is, like I say, I tell everybody this is the most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and love it or hate it, I would say we make it interesting every Sunday. I would say either finding a way to win games we shouldn't, or snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. However it works. But, shout out to y'all. Come on, talk about the Birds. Still love them. I would say just because I'm mad doesn't mean I don't love you anymore. So, definitely.
So you're the old man with the umbrella and the dog. I feel you. We all
I would say, man, shout out to Kirk. Kirk, just I don't need anything. Just please beat the Saints twice. Screw that team. I don't care what it takes. I hope that we play every starter and we find a way to drum them 42-0. I do not care. Just beat the Saints, please. For the love of God, beat the Saints. But shout out to everybody that's watching, coming on, watching about a Birds, without the subscribers and viewers, man. I would say there's no reason to get on here and talk about this. We could all just be at home miserable on our own. We're going to share it with y'all, but, so shout out to y'all. Shout out to the wife out there watching. Always, man, give the ball to Tyler this weekend. He's a Saint killer. He's a Saint killer, and so is Bijan. I'll say both of them. So give the ball to Tyler and feed Bijan. I'll say, but other than that, guys, rise up.
Rise up, Cody. Rick, shout outs for tonight, brother.
Man, first got to give a shout out to Dixon. Appreciate you dropping all those people in here to comment. Man, the comments were popping today. Really appreciate that engagement. That makes it a lot more fun for us. Give a shout out to my wife taking care of the kids so I can be down here with you guys talking crap about the bird crap. And then, I'm going to give a shout out to all the fans that stay true. I see a lot of BS online about people like, I think it was Bomani Jones who was talking about, like, if you're still rooting for this team, then you're just a loser and you like losing. I don't know why you do this to yourself, man. That sounds like weak coward stuff to me. Yeah, anyone who switches teams, I can't back that. Nope. I'm going to ride this red and black all the way to the ground. And if I don't win a Super Bowl in 100 years, it is what it is. That was my fate. So one thing I've been thinking about, I've been saving for a long time, and we just talked about the Falcons and Saints game, is Cody, Chase, let's do a giveaway. So maybe we can grow our subscribers, grow our base for this Falcon Saints. Maybe we can come up with something exciting, right? So I have a more memorabilia than you could ever think of. Like, y'all don't even know, man. Like, if y'all look right here behind me, I got boxes and boxes of stuff I'm going to put up, right? But I got 2 that are super special. So check this out. First one I got right here is a Keanu Neal signed jersey. Ooh. 22, Keanu Neal, right? I got 2 of them. I won it in an auction a long time ago. And then one time, listen to this. I was on TikTok getting my hair cut, and a guy was doing one of those like where you pick a team for $10, and if he draws the NFC South, right? So I had NFC South. And I was like, all right, dope.
Hey, there it is. Alvin Kamara. Here it is.
I got a Kamara. So what we can do is we can do a giveaway, right, with a Falcons or a Saints jersey or both, and you can win and pick, and we can give them away. Maybe we can stir up the rivalry. Maybe we can get some Saints in here talking with us, some Dirty Birds. So let's do some giveaways on some signed jerseys. I got a couple of them that I'd like to give away. I think they're over $350 each. So I think that'd be a good opportunity for us to grow. If you guys want to subscribe, you jump on the podcast. We'll figure out a way you guys can win that. So I think that'd be pretty.
Hey, we can do a like a trivia. Whoever gets the most answers, the most correct answers.
Hey, man, if you're a Falcons fan and you want to win this jersey and burn it, I'd love to watch it.
Oh, say it's good toilet paper there too, man.
Exactly.
I'll say,
and with that, not $350, but I got more of these flags that I got hanging up in my little man cave. And I got them all around the little man cave. Y'all see them hanging. Collecting them when I go to the games and stuff. They normally give us a flag, so I got tons of those that we got. That might not mean as much to me, but some of the fans that don't go to the game, I think they might really enjoy it. So yeah,
let's do it.
I want to say one last thing. I want to say before I forgot. I don't know if you guys saw Matt Ryan. Say not to bring up Matt, but the funny thing, since Rick brought up the Saints jersey, did you see what that douchebag Cameron Jordan gave Matt Ryan? Was a painted picture. Yes. I loved this is the thing that I loved about Matt Ryan, and it's the attitude that this team's got to adopt about. Matt looked at it. You could tell he was physically sick to his stomach. He goes, I don't even know if this makes the plane ride home with me. And the only thing that Matt could have done better was if he had thrown it in the trash right in his face. But because Matt is the professional he is, he didn't do it.
I love Cam Jordan though. He's always been, the rivalry between the Saints and the Falcons is something that is bittersweet. You love it and you hate it. I like playing no other team than the Saints.
Absolutely.
That game, like I said, Cody, that game means more to me than any other game on the roster. Forget any other rivalry.
As we like to call it here on the podcast, #Hate Week, baby.
Hate Week. Drew Brees is calling the game too.
Oh, fuck.
Come on.
Listen to that on Sunday. Falcon fans, may y'all hit that like button. As Rick said, we will have the giveaway. Stay tuned for the details of how we'll do that giveaway here on the podcast because it will happen. So be sure to subscribe. You have to be a subscriber to win the giveaway. That's every giveaway has happened here on DFU. You have to be subscribed to get that prize. Falcon fans, once again, we appreciate you for coming through on a Tuesday night. It is 9:40, and you guys are here with us talking Falcon football. Hit that like button. Leave a subscribe. If you watch the live after the live video, leave a comment. I'll be sure to get back at you and answer whatever question or whatever statement you leave in the comment section. As always, shout out to my awesome panel of co-hosts, Rick, David, Cody, Robert, Phillip. We appreciate everybody that has contributed to DFU. If you have subscribed, if you like the comments, as Rick stated, shout out to the Dixon Raid coming through, leaving a comment, pushing the algorithm out for us DFU guys. We appreciate you guys. And once again, rise up. As always, shout out to the wife in the living room taking care of the baby so this podcast is possible. I want to give a shout out to the good Lord, man. We passed the well test today, boys. Well test has been passed. So we got one more to go tomorrow. We passed that one. We getting the money. So shout out to that. Shout out to, as we've already stated, the Falcon fans, guys. Without you, man, this podcast is not possible. It would not happen. We're on the road to 1K, man. We cannot do it without you. We're at 600 as we stand right now. Can we get 10 subscribers within a week? Falcon fans, make it happen. Share it to a family member. Share it to a Falcon fan. Get us out. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. As always, it's your boys, Chase, Cody, Rick, and David with DFU. Rise up. A-Town down. We got it.